G'day ladies and gentlemen, Piedudeaus here and welcome to the Far Cry 3 map editor. Yes, this is a little series I thought I might actually start doing if people were interested. Basically, it's just going to be a how to use and then just showing you some tips and tricks and things like that. So yeah, that's basically what it's going to be. If you guys are interested, again, if you're interested to see more, don't forget to, spazzed out. Don't forget to leave, heaps of love and leave plenty of likes, plenty of comments saying what you think of the series. And I wish my mouse would stop doing that to me. It's quite annoying. Maybe because I push the mouse off the mouse pad. But yeah, anyway, ladies and gentlemen. So yeah, this is the editor. So yeah, this is it. What the hell is going on? But yeah, anyway, when you first load it up, you will have an automatically generated world. And as you can see, I'm in one right now. There it is. It's just a weird little island. And you can actually see this border around the outside here. Oop, going to get some glare from the sun there. But that is actually the perimeter of the map. So yeah, it's doesn't seem like it's going to be quite that big. But if you come back down, I get close to the ground, not that matters that much. If you do Control G, right? Oops, hit the wrong button. Do Control G, it actually puts you into in-game mode, right? So you can actually be practicing your map. You can run around. You can shoot stuff. You can even throw the odd grenade. Big boom. And of course you can even go underwater. Woohoo! It basically acts just like you would be as though you're in-game. And then to get out of it, as you can see down in the bottom corner there, it just says press escape. Sweet. Done. Just like that. And of course now you can fly through the map and everything else. You can do what you want. And basically then you got down this bottom corner here, you do have your general controls, which is just there. WASD moves around. If you're moving around, you want to move a bit quick, you hold down shift. The right mouse key does pan around. Rotates the camera. The mouse wheel pans left and right and up and down. And of course Control G again, which I just showed you, does actually do like a test version of in-game of your map. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen, that's it. Other than that, I will just go through these options that are at the top of the screen here. You got your general controls through your like your general menu, like your start, like file, edit, all those. But I'll go through these as well anyway. You can see what you've got there. Save, open new maps. You can generate an empty world, which is going to be obviously the best thing to do if you want to create your own proper custom map. Edit, that's just undo and redo, that's all that's in there. View has got tool parameters, that's pretty much what you'll find over here each time you click on one of these different tools. The editor settings, you can change what kind of things you want to see in the game. Like changing the world, just how things are going to work while you're using the editor, so to speak. And you can also change the quality of the texture there. It just currently defaults to Ultra. But if you put it down, as you see, the grass textures just get lower and lower. I'll put it on Ultra anyway. That's what it seems to want to default to. Game just gives a testing game. Advanced is just to reset the layout, and help just gives you obviously the about. Okay, these few options here, you have a new empty map. So yeah, if you want it, you can just simply do that. And I'm actually, if you do press that, you will pretty much get this most of the times. This simply says you may lose any unsaved changes to the current map if you proceed. Do you wish to save the map? You basically, if you just load up the editor, just click no, and this is what you'll end up with: a brand new map. And that's what it looks like. You get this horrible grid. It's actually, each one of these little squares is a 1 meter, so you got like a 1 meter by 1 meter grid. So if that's the 1 meter, you can tell there that's going to be a pretty big area to be creating as a map. Even though it may not look like much on the island, which you just saw, now you actually realise that that is actually 1 meter by 1 meter. Yeah, it's actually quite big. Okay, that's just your general open up a map one you've already started, and I will do a couple of them while I'm doing this. This one here is the save map, if you obviously want to save a map. That's obviously your undo and redo just there. This one here is actually if I get the cursor to show, it is the map properties. So once you've actually got a map going, you can give it a name, give it the author's name, the size of the map, there you go, small, medium or large, and you can choose how many players you would like on it. Plus, you can also take a screenshot or a screen, capture of the map to use when if you do upload your map, you do have a thumbnail to as a basic, just to give people a bit of a quick idea of what the map's about. And yeah, that's all the data generation. The map identifies all that there. You got all the general help down here, all this bit down here, this text in the bottom right corner. It does give you general ideas of what each section will do anyway. Okay, now this thing with the green circle and the tick in it, this is the map verification. At the moment, say you did Team Deathmatch, you have to have everything ticked with a blue, but apparently I'm colourblind. But if it's got a green circle with a green tick in it, that's pretty much what you want, or at least a yellow with an exclamation mark, just giving you a warning there may be something wrong. But if it has a the red circle with a white X in it, yeah, there is something wrong and you cannot generate a world, or you cannot use it as a multiplayer map if there is anything wrong here. Which, of course, as you can see, there's no spawn points, so yeah, it would never work. So that's just one way of knowing, being able to keep up to date with how all your different maps are going, whether it's ready to be used as a multiplayer map or not. So that's what the map verification is. Alright, now what's the nitty gritty stuff after all that nonsense? What we have here, these are all the basic terrain, well, what do you call it? Terraforming the terrain. So this one here is your terrain bump. This is pretty obvious what's going to be. You click on the ground, yep, left click, and that will actually do that to the terrain. You can also do the reverse for this. You hold down the, I believe it is left control, and it will actually dig a hole in the ground. Pretty cool, okay? And of course, if you do hold down the shift key, and with the left mouse button, you can move the mouse forward or back, and as you can see, it is actually reducing or increasing the radius of the area you can actually terraform the ground. But looking over here, as you can see, you've got the tool parameters as well. This is for the terrain bump. If you want, you can use a square brush. Most of them, these terrain terraforming things do have a square brush. Again, you just see me do the radius. If you don't want to use the shift and left click and then doing that, you can, of course, use this slider here. Pretty cool. Now the hardness, basically what that does, the hardness, as you can see, is the yellow circle in the middle there. If you have that set all the way to maximum, in other words 1, whenever you actually do this, you'll see it'll actually mostly do that as a solid thing, right? But if you reduce the hardness down a fair bit, as you can see, then I'll reduce the radius a bit down too, so I can do it all in here. I'll just decrease it a little bit. You'll actually realise it actually get more of a oval type shape. It actually gives you a nice rounded edge. That's what the hardness is. If it's all the way to the end, it gives you just basically a square edge. Okay, so that's what that does. So I'll just remove some of these, get the land back down to approximately where it was. Unfortunately, you get this weird shadow effect. It was probably just my computer being a bit derpy, but anyway. Now the distortion, basically what that does, if I'll just reduce these a little bit. Yeah, let's do that. Actually, I'll take the hardness right off. Now, basically, what the distortion does is you've just seen me do these before. It just generates a nice little circle like that. But if you actually crank the distortion up, if I do that again, let's move around a little bit. As you can see, rather than being a nice full circle, it is going to be circular, but it's going to be off-centered. So that's basically what the distortion does. It just off-centers the actual terraforming you do. And the speed here, well, that just basically increases. So if you turn that right down, I'm actually holding down the left mouse button to actually terraform. It's not doing anything. So basically, that's just the speed and how quickly it will actually create the terraforming. So there you go. That's what that is. And do that. Sweet. Okay, and grab mode. I've got to admit, I'm not exactly sure. Oh, okay. Yeah, grab mode. Sorry, I do know these. Yeah, grab mode. Rather than, see, I'm actually holding the mouse button down at the moment. It's not doing anything, even though the speed is maxed out. It should be making it. Basically, grab mode is now, that actually relies on your mouse movement, which is actually quite good. You probably get a little bit more precise movement. So you move the forward up and down, and that'll give you the that will give you your basic terrain modification doing it that way. So that's what grab does. You have to use the mouse to move it. Okay, so that's the terrain bump. Now the second one here, if we get it working, is the terrain raise and lower. Pretty much a similar sort of thing. Again, you can have a square brush if you want the square brush. I'm just going to keep it on circle for argument's sake. You got the radius again. You can just, as you can see, you can make the circle bigger. Hardness, we've already been through that. Distortion, the same thing again. But the terrain raise or lower. Now this one actually, if it is in the positive, it'll always raise the terrain, but it'll only raise it to that specific height. If it is in the negative, it'll lower it to that specific height, and that's all it'll do. So there you go. That's what the terrain raise and lower feature does. Okay, next one is the terrain flatten. So again, square brush, and the basic controls again, they're all down here. What you can actually, how you actually use them. It's just left control to reverse the whatever you've done. Just left click to do the actual working. But so yeah, this is terrain flatten. So if you actually, probably it's not going to really work because I don't think I actually have anything to really raise here. But I'll just quickly make myself a couple of little elevated areas here. Boop. Okay. So now I'm going to terrain flatten, and there you go. That's all it does. It just, if you've got a certain area, you just want to flatten it out. So you got like a bit of a hill or a bit of a mound somewhere. That will just essentially flatten it out, and now it'll just stick to that particular height, and you can keep going from there, which is kind of cool. Very cool. Okay, so moving right along, let's just get rid of all that. Don't really have to, but I will, just because it gives me an even kill to work with. So the next one is the terrain set to height. So again, you've seen all the normal features. The only different one here is the height. So basically, you can actually set the height you want the terrain to go to. So say you want to have an elevated area and you want it to get to a certain height. Yep, you can just do that. Whoop, I'll make it a bit bigger. Blah, look at that. So yeah, that's basically what that does. They're kind of similar features, but at least with this one, you can actually determine the height you want. The other one actually requires terrain to already be there, and then you just flatten it out. So that's the basic difference. Alright. Now this one is obviously pretty cool. I quite like this one. You're going to use a fair amount, because with this one, you're going to have, I'll just reduce these a little bit. Right, you're going to have just different, well, shouldn't actually do that. Take it off grab mode. So I'll just do this, so it's all sort of rough and ready. But basically what this one here is, this is the terrain smooth. So I'll make that just a little bit bigger. So you got a little bit rough and ready sort of mounds there. What you can do, hold the left mouse button over it, and as you can see, oh yeah, smoothing it out. So you end up with some nice rounded hills, nicely terrain movement. So you can obviously probably set up a little fort or something on there, possibly if you wanted to. You can easily run up it. Pretty cool. As you can see, it's nicely smoothed out and it looks pretty awesome. So that's the basic thing what the terrain smooth does, and these all features again haven't changed. Alright, now this one here is the terrain ramp. Now the cool thing about this one is you've got just the normal couple of features. You can only have a circle one for this, which is a bit weird, but you've got the radius and the hardness. But the way this one actually works is you've got to place somewhere. So if I just did it here on a flat area, if I place it there, now that's where your start is. This next time I click, that'll be the end. Okay, it's not going to do anything, because you actually need an elevated area. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to click there as a start point. I'll click here as an end point. And bam, as you can see, you now have a ramp. Which is actually kind of cool if you wanted to have like a ramp to get up to a certain point. You know, for whatever reason it might be, like a natural sort of type of ramp. That is a pretty cool way of being able to create one. So yeah, there you go. That's basically how you create the ramp. Alright, now this one here is the terrain noise. Basically what this one will do is it creates, well, noise. So, well, basically all to do, so say if you, you know, had like a nice smooth area, you just want to just add a little bit of bumpiness or a bit of deformation to the surface. That's pretty much what this will do. Just makes it a little bit more, I suppose you could say, naturally looking, maybe. Just roughens the ground up. That's really all it does. Again, as he says, the roughness is there. You can increase or decrease the amount of roughness. As you can see, that actually demonstrates a bit better. There you go. That's what it does. The lower that is, of course, the smoother the muck will be. And that's down to only about halfway. It's not making a huge difference. So maybe put that on, say, 7 or 0.75, maybe. Oh, yeah, that's pretty good. Especially if you wanted a rougher surface for like a cliff. That would be pretty useful for that. And you got the noise type too. You can actually do raise only, lower only. In other words, so it'll actually indent a little bit. Or you can actually do it so it does both. Doing both might be pretty cool. So it's kind of raising and lowering. That's kind of neat. I like that. Very cool. Alright. No, don't do that to me. Mouse spoke it up. Oh, mouse being weird. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, now we're on to this one just here. Now, this one here is the terrain erosion. Now, basically, it's this kind of similar sort of feature, but it actually kind of acts, as you can see here in this last feature, kind of acts like a bit of a landslide. Just deforms the ground and kind of makes it look like there was an actual like landslide had occurred. So you'll probably get like a bit of a straighter edges rather than being quite as sharp as the other one, as the noise. And so yeah, that's pretty much all that does. Again, you got your normal features there. You got you can actually have the density and the deformation, so that can make him a bit more jagged edges. And actually, it's looking pretty damn awesome. So there you go. That is basically what that is the erosion. It makes it look like, you know, like a wall or part of the ground has actually started to erode away. Okay, now this one here, ladies and gentlemen, this is the terrain hole. Now, this one is obviously going to be very useful if you want to create any tunnels to go through a map. Now, I'm going to show you quickly how this thing actually works. All you've got to do is you want to start selecting areas of these blocks, because at the moment, you know, if you see this terrain here, you will actually be able to walk on it. But if you start clicking on it like this, yep, you've just opened up the world. So that's all you got. You got the radius. It's just like that. And as you can see, as I said before, each one of these little squares here is actually a 1 meter square. So you want to be pretty careful how you want to do it. So if I actually went into game now, so if I did Control G, I went into game, right? I'm not going to actually do it, but say if I walk here, you try and climb up the cliff. If I went through there, I will actually fall through the map. So that gives you an idea of what that actually is, what that will actually do. So if you want to make holes in the ground, that is how you have to do it. You have to use this tool, the terrain hole. Now I'm going to quickly just bring up another map that I have done before. I'm not going to about saving that. And where is it? Cave tests. Okay, this is actually a map I did to test the cave feature, and this is just what I came up with, which is pretty cool. I quite like this. And there you go. There is the hill that I created. And I'll actually put myself into game actually, so you can actually see what it's like. Oop, took a little bit longer than it should have. But there you go. I mean, that's obviously it's not, you know, textured properly or anything like that. It was just a quick test to see how how this feature worked. And of course, you can run through just a little hole in this little hill here, which is pretty cool. And you can shoot your way through if you want to. And there's a dodgy waterfall just there as well. So yeah, that gives you an idea of what you have to do to be able to create a cave. So once you've got the hole done in the surface, I shouldn't say that too loud. I can't actually adjust the volume in game on this editor. But yeah, once you've got that done, then you can start placing your features you want to use for your cave. All right, now I'm going to quickly go over to this one over here, because this is another little thing I just tested on before. And I'll quickly put myself back in the game here. This is one I was actually trying to get a little bit more advanced. And as you can see, we have like a bunker. Okay, I don't know why it does that weird opening like it does there. But the moment you get through the door... Oh, yeah. And the sounds change as well. So now it sounds like I'm underground. Kind of creepy noises. But yeah, this is the little feature I just created to see how well it would work. I'll quickly just run through here. Boop, bloop, bloop, bloop. Plodding through. Pretty neat, isn't it? That is pretty cool. Alright, so I'll get out of that. And I'll quickly just turn around so you can actually see what I've done. So that was just, these are all the different features, all these different things you can get from in-game, from using this tab here, which is the objects. There's a whole bunch of different objects you can have. You can start chunking them together. And as you can see, it is all totally under the ground. Pretty neat. So that's basically what you can do with an open hole. Once you've got the hole created, then you can start making it, more accessible. Cool. Alright. And so yeah, that is basically the terrain hole. Okay, so since I'm still here, I may as well show you a couple of these features here. And this one here is the texture painter. Okay, so all this does here is you've got these different features. You've got the radius, again, you know what that is because it's, it's right here. You've got the hardness, again, that's just that yellow circle. Distortion, again, you already know what that is, where the painting gets distorted. And of course, you've got the speed of how quickly it'll paint. Now, what you have here, these are all the different textures you can actually start painting with. Now, you can see I have used some of them. There's a grass texture on there, and also a cliff texture right there. So you got an idea of basically what you can do. But all you got to do is just grab one you like. So I'll just grab this one. Well, actually, I'll click on this, and you can see all the different ones there are. There's plenty of different textures. Actually, I'll grab rubble. That'll do. Oh, plus, I should also point out too, you can actually only select up to 4 textures for your map. But the thing that sucks is this grid 1 meter one. Even though it's already there, you cannot actually get rid of it. It's stupid. I don't know why, but you can't. It's there. So really, you only get to choose 3 different textures. But anyway, what you got to do is once you find an area you want to, once you've got, say, like your hill done, or you want to create like a little area you want to paint, just simply select it and then just left click. And there you go. That's created like a little rubble mound there. So if you wanted to get like your terrain to form, if you want to make like, pretend there was a rubble pile somewhere. Okay, that was a bit unrealistic. I don't think you'd imagine it would be one quite that big, but still, that gives you an idea of what you can do. So rather than leaving importing a whole bunch of images or objects, you could simply create one like this, then to put some like wood or something small on it to save rendering time and keep the file sizes or your map sizes smaller. But yeah, that's basically the terrain painter. So it's pretty cool. Again, you do have grass and everything, all these different features. Turn that into a grass mound now. There you go. It's a hobbit hole. Could be used as a hobbit hole now. But yeah, okay, ladies and gentlemen, that's that. Now, this next one is the water layers. Now, I'm going to go to another map that I have done. So this is basically, I'll be able to show you what it is. So let's just quickly go to that one. No, I don't care about saving changes. 2. I've actually got a couple here I'm going to show you. But this will give you an idea of what it is. Basically, water layers is, as you can see right here, this is why I've left this one like it is. You can actually create a 64 by 64 block or area of water, and you can then make another one, and you can elevate it or reduce the height of it to create like pretty much to help create like a waterfall effect. And as you can see there, I have essentially a waterfall with a couple of going over a big cliff. There's the water here, and I'll actually put myself in game mode doing this. Swim to the surface. You can do it, boy. You can do it. Yeah, we made it. So there you go. I'm swimming up. That's what's bumming. And all the way down there at the bottom is the normal terrain, or that normal grid pattern, as you see, all the way down there. There was nothing underneath me then. And now I've just got this one here, and this tall cliff, and I can just run and jump off. Cool. So there you go. That is pretty cool. That's basically what the I forgot what it's called now. The water layers actually does. And I'm going to quickly just bring up another map just to show you. Well, probably in a little bit more realistic situation, but it's not totally realistic because I've just done a horrible border around it, but something you might see. It looks kind of a little bit more decorated. So I quickly just threw this one together just to give you an idea of what it could look like if you had proper terrain all on either side. So there you go. Pretty neat. And this time I actually put a proper floor in the bottom of each one. But yeah, anyway, ladies and gentlemen, so there, that's basically what the water, I keep forgetting the name of it, the water layers actually does. So you can just have different sections of water levels, and you can, if you wanted to, you can put waterfalls between them. It looks kind of neat, I've got to admit. There you go, pretty cool. Alright, so there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That's a basic look at the main features there. I actually might call this video quits just on the up to the terraforming part, and I will save these bits here. Actually, I'll just do a quick run through, but I'll go into more details later on in another video. So we'll just do this, bugger it, why not? So this is the Objects tab. So basically all this does is you can select here, use this one here, and you can select objects. And as you can see, there is a lot of different objects. Okay? So you pretty much just enables you to put whatever you want. So say you want a World War II option. Oh, plonk, down on the ground. There you go. There's a bunker on the ground. Pretty cool. So then all you're going to do, if you want to, you select the object. You know, you can move it on the XY axis, make it bigger, small, you know, move around. This one here actually just rotates it, boop, like that. You can spin it around, do whatever you want to do. So it's kind of neat. That's basically what it will do. And you can just then, you can actually, if you want to make multiples of things, you can copy into to the clipboard. But yeah, so that's basically what that is. Again, as I said, just quickly go back onto that list. As you can see, there is heaps and heaps and heaps of stuff to pick. So pretty much whatever is in FarCry 3 is pretty much in this editor, and you can add to your world. So that's a quick rundown of what the objects is. So yeah, oh, that's just the rotate. That's the move feature, and this one here is a select. So say if you had a thing on the ground, you want to select it, just click on that, and you'll end up with that. That will select the object. Okay, now this one here is the collection system. Basically, this is a really cool way. So I'll pick these palms. Right, you can just draw it. You can just draw. And as you can see, it is literally just painting these palms, the grass, and some rocks onto the ground. Very easy to do. Again, you can have up to 8 of these things, and there's a few of them. There's a few different things. So I might just go, there's some low rocks here. Boop. The only thing you've got to realise too, if you do go over an area you've already done, as you can see, it will wipe them out. So you've got to be careful the way you want to do it. And of course that looks pretty damn ugly, but yeah. Again, if you want to, you can have a square brush. You can choose the different radius, make it bigger or smaller. And yeah, otherwise you just add and remove. If you do remove an item, do remove a collection, I should say, it will delete everything on the whole map that involved. So like I've got these palms here, the high palms. That's what's all around the edge. If I got rid of them, the whole lot will go. So yeah, you've got to be pretty careful in what you actually get rid of. So you want to make sure you're using the right thing. Alright, now this one here is the roads. Very easy to use. All you got to do is, once you've selected it, as you have up here, just select the road you want. There are more different textures. That's all of them there. So you got some that are actual like asphalt, or you got dirt, some sand, coastal. There's basically got grass on the sides as pathways. But just for argument's sake, though, I'll just cancel that. I'll choose this one here. Basically, what you got here, you got a few different options. If you want, you can just do this one, which is like a paintbrush. that will just draw a road wherever you move the cursor to. Very easy to use, just like that. This one here will actually add additional points in, so if you want to get like a bit more rounded corners, so it's not quite as sharp or as ugly looking, you can do that. That can add. This one can remove points, and then as you can see, it just straightens them out. And this one here is essentially your select. So that can select those different points, and you can move them around without the worry of adding additional points in. So yeah, again, the other thing you can also do too, I'll just come down a little bit closer, boop, just to there. You can make the roads wider, up to, I think it's like 8 meters, or you can make them just 1 meter, essentially like a walk track. And yeah, that's it. Otherwise, you've got your add and remove textures, and you can have up to 8 different roads. So yeah, pretty cool. Okay. Now, this last one here, it's not really the last one, this is the third last one here, is actually the map limits. Now, of course, you can also do this. You will probably notice too, there are some of these do have hotkeys. This one does have F12. Basically, what this is it's the map limits. So you're actually restricting people from being able to go outside the map. So if I wanted to have people just playing around in this, essentially in this waterfall, I could just basically bring all this in and just block it around these particular points. And I don't really need to, but you get the idea anyway. You can just shrink it right down, so even though you do have a big wide area, you wouldn't have to texture it all. You didn't have to texture it at all. Just do the area you need, and then you can just block it off with this map limit, so no one can essentially get beyond it. Again, if you want to, you can paint around the area you want the map limit to go. Or you can, again, just like for the roads, you can add additional points in. So I actually click on the right one, and then you can just drag it to where you want it to go. It's kind of cool, very cool. So it's very, it's very open to doing what you want. You don't have to just use the basic 4 squares. You can literally just move it to how you want it. See, just like that. Awesome. That's pretty cool. All right. So now this one here is probably not going to do much because I really don't have any in the world, but this will actually, as it says here, this feature enables, let's try that again. This feature requires enabling AI data generation in map properties. Do you wish to enable? Basically, in other words, if you've got any AI, like your animals or just general, whatever things like those sort of things, anything that actually has like an intelligence, I suppose, or some kind of intelligence, it does actually require that. But again, if that's not enabled, then the map won't load properly anyway. So yeah, you've got to actually do that. There you go, and that's the features you have here. There's character and there's vehicle AI, and you can display the mesh covers, and also got transparency there as well. Again, not really dwelled too much on that, but it does have these features down here that gives you more details. Okay, the last feature I'm going to be looking at is this one, and this is the environment. Pretty much, as you might guess, you can adjust the time of day. So if you want to make it night time, yep, pretty cool. Or you make it early morning, like that. There you go. It's about 8 o'clock in the morning. Make it about midday. There it is. If I get it right, that's about midday. Or about 3:30. I think it's kind of like where it defaults to. That's your basic default setting. Whoops. So yeah, otherwise, then you've got your different cloud types. I'll just move it up so you can see them. That's your normal one. That's your second option. Just nice fluffy white clouds. These are, well, I suppose that's like your second option, I suppose. That's not your third. Get it right, Chris. It's just a bit more cloud there. A bit more broken up, though. And then you do have that one. That's a lot more just solid cloud. So again, it's up to you which one you want to pick. They're all basically the same. There's no real difference. Now, you got here the storm factor. Of course, if you crank that up a little bit, you will hear the rain. It will get loud. But if you crank it right up, oh yeah, thunderstorm. And lots of nasty cloud. Not to mention thunder and lightning. So I'll turn that right back off so let the rain stop. That is actually quite loud. And again, the last little feature is the water level. Now, of course, you do have this water here through the water level section, or water layers section. Again, I got it wrong. I knew it would. But if there is just one simple plate, if you just want to have like a, say you did this. Oh god, my mouse has been bad tonight. I do apologise for flicking the mouse. Say if you just wanted to create like a little bit of a trench there. What you can actually do is if you have the, if you go to this environment and you do a water level, you can actually increase that water level. You can see, there you go, just drowned out the map. Or you can simply just do that, and this just actually brings up the whole bottom of this big water level out there to become part of the map. And as you can see, there it is right there. Sexy as. That's pretty cool. And by the way, this little mark, that's actually part of the that other muck that I mucked around with. But yeah, that's essentially it. That's what the environment tab will do. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not sure how long this video's gone for, probably for a fair while. But yeah, so that's it. That's a basic option, how all these actual keys work. I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to leave plenty of comments, plenty of loving. And so if you want me to continue the series, I'll be more than happy to do so. Because I'd like to actually show people how different features work and how I create things. And so yeah, that's it, ladies and gentlemen. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all that cool stuff. And as always, keep cool, keep safe, and I'll catch you around. Goodbye.